What if someone doesn't like this? What if somebody doesn't like me? Who cares? Do you like you?
How you been, by the way?
Dude, unbelievable. If I was any better, I'd be twins.
Love it. Oh man, I'm excited for this podcast today. This guy's an entrepreneur. He's the owner of Lightspeed VT, Closer School, and Dropping Bombs podcast. Guys, help us welcome the one and only Brad Lee. What's up, brother?
What's happening, gents? Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Let's sweat it out.
Let's do it. We were kind of mentioning before the podcast started, we truly believe that you're a huge influence on how we want to produce content and the authenticity, most importantly, of where we want to go and how we want to deliver value to people. Let's jump right in. How do you feel so comfortable in front of the camera to be able to deliver and provide people with the type of content you do and the expertise that you have?
My question back to you, gents, would be, how can you not? All I do is speak. Like, in other words, if what you're trying to get at is there's a lot of people that feel weird about it and they're not as open and it just doesn't come across the same. And here, I'll tell you why. The way I do it is I don't care as much for other people's opinions as I do my own. Meaning, I know that I'm being an ethical, good individual on a regular basis. I'm saying things that I think are going to help other people avoid problems and situations. So as I say things, I just don't care if someone doesn't like it. And if more people could think that way, if more people could just figure out how to stop worrying about what other people think so much, they would be a lot better off and their content would be too. I think that's the future of content. I think if you're, superfluous and or fake in any way, people are going to get bored of that.
What is one of the biggest tips you would give people starting content or who are currently producing content, but they're just not being absolutely real with themselves?
100% is stop worrying about what other people think. Stop fearing judgment of others. Ultimately, bro, you think in your mind what other people are going to think before posting content. I don't. Most people will think, what are other people going to think when I post this? And what's crazy is most times they're incorrect, meaning they fear that someone is going to laugh at them and the way they said it, what they said is going to literally cause them so much anguish that they don't post anything. It's easier not to post anything. But if someone were to say, listen, I just want to be authentic or real like me, well, here's what I'd say. First of all, dude, you got to start to value yourself and value your opinion. See, I value my opinion, bro. I know I can help you guys. I know I can help people following me. I know what I'm saying is truth. See, the certainty in that gives me that confidence that people see in my content and the authenticity. It's like, I don't really care if you're offended by me saying something. I don't want to offend anyone, but I don't really care. Why? Because I value my own opinion. Bro, this is gold. Like, dude, let me tell you, everybody out there in the world has gold. They're just afraid to put it out there because they don't believe that other people will think it's gold. So you see what I'm saying? You need to see yourself as gold, and then it's easy to put it out there. You're not second guessing anything. Why? Because you value yourself. You value your opinion. You value your advice.
So how did Brad Lee get to the point where he didn't give a shit about, what other people were thinking because he knew the value was there?
Well, dude, I mean, when you're awesome for as long as I've been,
well, I love it.
You tend to get a little bit, no, I'm just joking. Ultimately, here's what I do. I call them the Sacred Six. It's real easy. First thing I got to do is forgive myself for all the shit that I've caused, which, again, in the past, it's been quite unimaginable. Some of the things I've dealt with and or caused. So you have to forgive yourself, step one. Step two, you have to commit to do what you say you're going to do. You have to literally start building value in yourself, and the only way to do that is to keep the promises to yourself. Like, it's so important that people understand this one. Step two is to commit to do what you say you're going to do and never, ever not. Step three is rack up some wins, right? We're taught to set these big goals, and we do, and then we never hit them. Well, that's a loss. So if we just reverse that and said, let me lower the targets a little bit and start hitting them, that's racking up some wins. Why? Well, if you repeatedly lost, would that make you a winner or a loser?
Not in my book. Yeah, not in my book.
Yeah, it'd make you a loser. That you lose all the time. Now, dude, what if you're sitting there in your mind losing all the time? And in your mind, you know you lose all the time. Pretty soon, it starts to chip away at your confidence. It starts to make you believe that you're a loser. And when you believe something, it's reality. So if you want to change your beliefs, you have to change your information. You have to get new information to change your beliefs, and you have to change your beliefs to change your actions. Racking up wins every single day is as easy as lowering your target. Like, hey, can I call one more person today? Can I work one extra minute? Can I work out one extra minute? Can I do one more rep? Can I walk one more step? Of course you can. Well, then set those goals every single day. And again, every day you're setting new goals, so every day you're progressing. And then you start to build confidence, and you start to gain a little momentum, and you start to feel good about yourself, and you start to expect a little bit more, you start to do a little bit more, and then step 4 comes into play. That's where everybody in your circle will start to either support you or discourage you. And it's real easy to tell those people, because some people will be like, who do you think you are? You know, I liked you better the other way. Oh, look at him. He's going to try to be cool. Oh, you're going to try to get rich, are you? Good luck. Those people are not your friends. You want to eliminate idiots. Like, do not allow idiots in your circle, even if you're alone. Like, it's better to be alone than around the wrong people. And when they're telling you every day negative shit that's literally causing you to doubt and, you know, even listen to, because all that's stored, you just want to eliminate that. So that's step 4, just eliminate the idiots. And then step 5 is you want to visualize every day. And in order to visualize, you have to see it. In order to see it, you have to think about it, and that helps. But most people fail to realize or think about really what success looks like exactly. So step 5 is to basically create a map and visualize it. So like, what is success? What do you think success is exactly? Not kinda. You know, I need to be rich. How much? What is rich? What is rich? Again, I'm broke to a couple of friends of mine, right? I'm broke as a joke. So at the end of the day, what's rich? Okay, figure out what that looks like. What would you do with the money once you got it? Start to visualize all of that on a daily basis. And then step 6 is seek new information on a daily basis. Pick up a book. You know, I'm not talking about Moby Dick. I'm talking about self-help book. Okay, read new information. Every day you should be saying to yourself, did I get any new information today? And if you're like, I'm not really sure, well, then you didn't intentionally seek out new information, and you need to. When you get new information, you literally start to change your beliefs, and changing your beliefs is the key. The reason you're getting what you're getting is because you believe what you believe and you're doing what you're doing. So if you want to change what you're getting, you got to change what you're doing, and the only way to change what you're doing is to change what you believe. And the only way to change what you believe is to get new information, because if you got no new information, you would believe the things you already believed. Like, the only way to form new beliefs is to get new information. And obviously every day we're getting new information as we walk around. A car just drove by. That was new information. But I'm talking about seek relevant information. If your sales are down, seek the information to increase your sales. Focus on increasing your sales. You'll increase your sales. Okay, if you don't know how to drive traffic, focus. Seek information on marketing. Seek the information that's relevant to what you're visualizing. And then every single day you're getting smarter, brighter, faster, more and more confident. And then, 90 days later, bro, when someone flips on a camera, you're talking just like I am. And by the way, a lot of times people don't understand that what you're seeing on social media from me is real. I have a camera that follows me around. They film me talking to employees. They film me talking to customers. They're filming me right now. They're filming me do your podcast. So literally all day long, this camera is on me being real. Like, I'm not thinking, what should I create? Yep. I'm not thinking, hey, let me look at the camera and say something I think everybody wants to hear or I think they should hear. I'm not thinking about it at all. I'm 100% living my life, and you're seeing it on social media, which is why people are like, damn, that dude's real. Well, it's because what you're seeing is real.
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm saying Israel.
And you know what's something else I love that you said not too long ago on one of your pieces of content? I love how you said, I am the most important person.
That's right.
I am more important.
To me, though.
To me, exactly. To
Yeah,
me.
but because you say that, now people are going to start, blah, blah, blah,
Of
blah.
course.
Listen to me. Who in your life is more important than you?
It's true.
And if the answer is my wife or my dad or my mom or my kids, folks, I'm telling you, if you really believe that those people are more important to you than you are, then you've got it incorrect. In other words, if they're really that important, then focus on yourself. And that is the best thing you can do for them. So if they're that important to you, make yourself more important than them, and you'll be the most valuable to them you can be.
Because then you can actually show up.
Not only that, bro,
Actually show up.
not only that, but you start operating differently. I am the most important person in my life. I'm the only one that's going to be here. I'm the only one that's going to have any control over me. You know what I mean? Like, other people can do what they do. You can't control that. But you get to control how you react. You get to control what you think. You get to control what you consume. You don't have to do anything. People say, well, what if you go to jail? They can put you in jail, man. They do not control your mind. Only you do. And if you're in control of your mind, who is more important than that individual?
That's it.
But my point is, I don't need the approval of others to feel good. Most people do. They need the approval of others, which is why they don't put stuff on social media, because what if someone doesn't like this? What if somebody doesn't like me? Who cares? Do you like you? That's what matters. Do you like you?
Yeah, it's an incredible thing when you can start to feel prideful in yourself and you can start to take action in your own life.
Oh, dude, you do not want to be proud. The fall goeth before the pride, or vice versa. What is it? The pride goeth before the fall. See what I'm saying? Like, we listen to all this shit that doesn't necessarily pan out. Like, money doesn't grow on trees. Have you ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
But that's all they say. They don't tell you where money does grow. Why? Well, because the people saying money doesn't grow on trees clearly don't know where to get any. I can tell you where money grows. Do you want to know where money grows?
I love
Tell us
to
where
hear
the
that.
money grows.
In other people's pockets.
Boom.
Dude, money grows in other people's pockets. That's where it grows. And if you want some, go out and meet more people. Shake more hands. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. The more introductions you do, the better off you are. Your network is your net worth. Like, we've all heard these cliches. They're true. The world is filled with opportunities. The problem is they're usually disguised as risk and work, so people avoid them. So you want to get good at solving problems. So you should be looking for problems every day. What are most people doing? They're trying to avoid them.
Yep.
Makes no sense. You get good at practice. Well, let me practice solving some problems. People are running from small problems. And by the way, the longer you do that, the bigger the problem becomes. So it's like, find small problems and get good at solving them, and you become a problem solver. There's universal truth, man. Like, for example, for every action, there's a reaction. Do you believe that?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so dude, that's a fact. If you believe that, then you understand that like action causes like result. See, if I'm buff and you want to be buff, do what I'm doing, and I'll bet you get buff too. Not think about doing what I'm doing, not say you're going to do what I'm going to do or what I'm doing, but do what I'm doing. Problem is when people say, well, what is he doing? Well, go ask. Google. That's that new information I'm talking about. Like, go figure out what these people are doing. Somebody says, hey, I want to be like Brad Lee. Go do what Brad Lee does and has done every day for 20 years. Go do what he does, and I'll bet you'll get what he's got. Like, you see someone that built a business, you can build a business. You see somebody that made $1 million, you can make $1 million. Go do what they did. Like action causes like result. What's the rocket science behind that? Here's another thing I'll point out, and hopefully not make you the example. You ready?
For sure. You can make me the example, please. It's how you get better.
Okay, good. Okay, good. What are the sacred 6 things that I just said that will fix your life and your confidence?
You got to believe in yourself.
That's not what I said.
You have to knock out the people in your life that aren't there to support you.
Well, that's not what I said, but that is one of them.
You gotta forgive yourself.
Okay, there's one. Look what's happening. I just said it not 10 minutes ago, and you guys have no clue what I even said, and you didn't take the time to write it down, which means it must not be that important to you. Like, if I just told you 6 directions to get to $1 billion, you would have grabbed a pen. You would have wrote it down. I just said it 10 minutes ago, and you guys can't remember it. Why? Well, because just because we heard the information doesn't mean we learned the information. Learning takes good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. You have to have those 4 ingredients. If you leave a couple of those ingredients out, you're not really learning. You're more being exposed. See, I just exposed you to the secret formula I call the sacred 6. Everybody says to me, how do you appear so confident and not so afraid of being you? And I'm like, the sacred 6. But nobody writes them down. And when I say nobody, I don't mean nobody. But my point is we as human beings, we expose ourselves to information, but very rarely do we apply ourselves to learn it. But again, it goes back to good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. If you want someone to actually learn, you have to do that. And I realize we're on a podcast, but you already were thinking, I'll go back and take notes. Well, if you don't, this is going to come and go. And 3 years from now, you guys are going to go, man, remember when we were talking to Brad and, shit, he's a billionaire now. And you'll be like, damn, dude, like that guy was good. Let's see if we can get him back on the podcast. And you guys will be just, floating through life being exposed to all this information, but never applying it and never learning it. So
this is why Brad is always dropping the bombs.
Well, it's just, dude, listen, people can bullshit themselves. But at the end of the day, man, you can't run 5 miles a day and be fat.
Right.
That is true.
Like
that's why we love having people like you on, right? It's like, we're still very young. We're both, he's 28, I'm 29. We're trying to learn from the best, and we're trying to not only get exposed, but then be able to go back and listen to our own podcast and be able to take the advice that you guys are giving us and our listeners. And that's the whole point of doing this, is so that, we can get in front of people like yourself and be able to learn and grow and create the lives that we want for ourselves and the future that we want for.
I'll tell you right now, it's so true what you said, and I've heard this all the time. It's like, there's so much great resources out there, so much good content. Of course, there's stuff that, isn't that great either, but there's a lot of good stuff, but only 1% of people are actually going to go do something with it and actually take action with it.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like too many people put in a month worth of effort, and like, oh, this isn't working out for me, and they just try to completely reinvent the wheel from there. So in what ways do you assess how things are working for your company and for your employees and for yourself, and then be able to make the tweaks necessary to be able to continually see that growth that you want to see?
Just pay attention, listen, watch. In some cases where people give up after a month, that it was the wrong thing to do, but in some cases it was the right thing to do. So you just got to pay attention, man. It's not difficult if you're listening, right? Be interested in what's going on. Look at the data. If you're not measuring something, you're not managing something. So if I were to say to you guys, how many prospects did you get last month? I don't know. Then you probably don't know your closing ratio. Yeah, I don't know. I could guess. Dude, you need a lot of help. Why? Well, because the first thing you have to understand is what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed. Anything that you measure, you can improve, right? So again, I want to improve my sales. Okay, are you measuring your sales? Are you measuring the tasks and functions that are required to create one? And if the answer is no, well, start there, man. How many phone calls did you make? People start going, holy shit, dude. I counted last week and I really only made 6 calls. 6 calls in 40 hours? Holy moly. What were you doing? Well, I was thinking about who to call. Oh, see, so now what do you want to do? You want to figure out who to call, buy leads. I just started a lead company called Sales Hammer. Like, it's literally the best leads, the best training, and the best tools for insurance, mortgage, and solar. And we're adding more all the time because people waste so much time knocking on doors and prospecting. Well, dude, I've created an application where I have the interested buyers. You just need to go sell them. What would be better, prospecting all week and closing on Friday, or closing 5 days a week?
I would much rather close 5 days a week,
Yeah.
all week, every week.
Yeah, so you just buy leads. You know, people are like, dude, you don't buy leads. What if they don't answer? What if the person doesn't answer when you're knocking on the door? If the leads that you're buying aren't buying, stop buying those leads. But don't stop buying leads altogether. People are limited in their belief. We've been taught things over our lifetimes that just don't apply. You know, money doesn't grow on trees. It grows in people's pockets. You know, we only have 24 hours in a day. That's not true. How many hours do I have in the day? Depends on who works for me. Like, if I have 100 employees.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, one of my favorite pieces of content from you.
Yeah.
You know, opened my eyes to a lot of things.
You said something about if you got 2 people, that's 48 hours. If you got 3 people, it adds on. I remember, I love that.
Yeah, time's unlimited. You just have to know how to get it and leverage it and create it.
I think social media too, like, as much as it's encouraging, it sometimes discourages people. They'll see somebody like you and they'll be like, well, you know, Brad, I'm sure is getting an influx of DMs, of just leads falling into DMs constantly every single day. So there's a reason why he's making so much money, but they don't really realize that in the back end of stuff, you're cranking away, hitting different ways, different pipelines to get leads, calls. You know, obviously you got this service in place, but most people think that it's just falling on your lap because of what you already have. I've seen that being such a big issue right now, like with a lot of different coaches, a lot of different people trying to do their lead gen and just thinking like, well, I have to have this page verified or at this level in order for me to get leads the same way these guys. It's easy because their name is out there like that.
Well, what most people don't understand is those people have been doing it a lot longer than you have. Mm-hmm. So we try to compare ourselves when we should prepare ourselves. Take one of these gurus with the blue check mark. Well, dude, they didn't just start with a blue check mark.
100%.
You know, the question is how do they get a blue check mark? And then the answers will be, well, they did this. Now go do that, and that. And I'll bet you get a blue check mark too. Because again, I mean, like, if that's what's required, and it's not, but if it is required and that's what you need to do, figure out how do you get a blue check mark. It's not rocket science. Well, the answer might be, dude, you need to make 4,000 videos on a subject. You need to post 472 blogs. You need to attend 492 conferences. You need to fly to 492 cities, and you need to miss 3 years of your kid's life. And now people are, I ain't doing that. Well, then shut the fuck up, sit down, take the jersey off, and let the players play. Because you can say you want to be rich, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're willing to do what it takes. So
that's why I don't believe in the word balance.
Well, I mean, I believe in the word balance, but not necessarily in the way that people ask it. Sometimes I'll work 10 hours a day for 5 days straight and not worry about going home and spending time with the little ones. And then sometimes I'll spend 5 days straight with the little ones, no time working. But it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease mentality. It's what do I need to focus on right now? And again, if your family is important to you, well, then, believe it or not, they don't need you at home as much as you like to believe they do. A lot of times those kids at home where you're like, oh, I need to spend time with my kids, they're thankful that you're not home bothering them. You know, they're on their iPads talking to their friends. They don't want you there 24/7 like you think they do. You know, but they need me. No, they don't. Dude, listen, trust me. You go focus 2 good hours. It's better than 8 fake hours.
What does Brad's little kid say about Brad?
They think I have more money than Jeff Bezos. My little girl asked, who's Jeff Bezos? And my wife said, he owns Amazon, has a lot of money. And I looked at her weird, like, why would you say that? And then my little girl said, he doesn't have more money than Daddy. And then I said, that's right. He might be in possession and control of a little bit more at this time, but life ain't over, bitches.
Love that. Hell yeah.
Love that. That's powerful.
The other day I was asking somebody at this event I was at, and he was asking me some questions, and I said, well, why don't you just spend the money? And he said, well, then I'd be broke. And I'm like, dude, you're broke now. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you've got millions of dollars, you're broke now, man. You know, people got $9,000 in the bank. They're like, if I spend that, I'll be broke. Dude, you're broke now. Take the $9,000 and invest it into courses, into advertising, into marketing, into yourself. You know, get rid of the $9,000 and try to make $90,000. Because if you just sit there and hold on to that $9,000 so you don't go broke, dude, you're already broke.
It's so true. People get a little bit of cash and they want to hold on to it because they think it's the last bit of money they're going to make.
Or my favorite one, if your wife is spending your money, go make more money.
That's my wife's favorite one too.
The life lessons of Brad.
Well, I mean,
but like you said, it's in other people's pockets, right? You got to go find it.
You don't have to find it. You already know it. It's in their pocket, bro. See, again, like everybody wants to make it harder than it is. Like, guys, if all the money that you want is in all those people's pockets, why are you letting them pass you by? Why are you not introducing yourself? 9 times out of 10, it's because you don't think you're worth introduction. You literally, or you just don't understand, but now you do after listening to this. Guys, money is in everybody's pocket. If you want some of it, you have to introduce yourself, number one, and you have to, build a relationship. Money is derived from relationships. So how many do you have? If you don't, I got a small circle of friends. I don't know many people. Well, dude, then you're limiting your ability to make money. The more people that know you, the better off you are, unless you're a criminal. So at the end of the day, it's like when it comes to business, I keep telling people, the more people that know you, the better. Sometimes people will ask me to coach them, and I usually don't, but when they drop $100,000, I do. And I'll start asking questions like, well, let me ask you, how many people did you introduce yourself this week? And they're like, I don't know. Okay, so that means you're not intentionally introducing yourself every single day. You're not tallying up how many people. You don't realize the money's out there. And they're like, dude, I never thought about it like that. Let me start doing that. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, they say, listen, I was over here having lunch and I saw this person, so I introduced myself. Turns out they're bop, 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 bop. We just did this deal and we just did that deal and we just did this deal and bop, 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 bop. And I'm like, I'm not surprised, bro. That's how it works. Like, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. And if you don't want to, if you feel awkward doing it, it's because you're fearing the judgment of others. So now go do the Sacred Six, stop being a pussy, and go introduce yourself. What's the worst that can happen? They're dicks and they don't introduce themselves back, which is rare. Okay? Well, there's COVID. Listen, you can introduce yourselves virtually. I'm introducing myself to you guys right now. First of all, everybody should build a personal brand. When someone says, I don't care about followers, you should care about followers, you moron. Like, think, people. You want followers, bro. Like, you want people. You want millions of followers. Why? Dude, I could literally come out with a freaking pill and swipe up and sell 1,000 bottles in the first day at $20 a pop profit. You think I can ever be broke with a personal brand?
Oh, no.
You think opportunities don't come out the woodwork with a personal brand? You don't think I'm involved in deals I would never be involved in if I didn't have a personal brand? And then it's like, people, I don't need followers. All you're doing is rationalizing why you don't.
Because they think they can't get there.
I've had people join Closer School, and I go to their social media, and they're private. And I'm like, dude, why would you be private? Well, I don't have anything to show. I don't want them to see my family. Number one, you determine what they see.
What they see, yeah.
But number two, why? Are you embarrassed? Are you shy? Well, it's none of their business. Yes, it is their business if you want to do business with them. Some people do is they spend all this time and money getting the attention, but they're not monetizing it. So they go broke. And pretty soon they're like, I don't know how these guys do it. I don't know how Brad posts 2-3 times a day on all social media. Who's editing all that stuff? Who's doing all that stuff? That costs money. I don't have that money. Well, again, it's because you're not monetizing the attention. So you have to have a product. You have to have, a service. You have to have some sort of trade in exchange for money. If you expect money, you have to exchange a value. You know what I mean? If you want to sell somebody something, you just have to raise the value of your product or service above the value they have of their money. Most people are running around trying to figure out how to get attention, but as soon as they get it, they're like, well, now what? Well,
what did I do?
Well, now what is, hopefully you're getting attention relevant to what your solution is. Like, I'm a problem solver. I could literally solve people's problems in a lot of areas that you wouldn't know me as. I've learned a lot about relationships. I've solved a lot of my buddies' freaking marriages and issues. I'm not a damn relationship counselor, but dude, I've lived a long time and I've seen a lot of things and I've read a lot of things and I know a lot of things. And at the end of the day, if I wanted to, you know, I could say, hey, if you guys are having a problem with your relationship, or maybe you just can't figure out how to get your wife to actually have sex with you, give me a call. Now, when they give me a call, because people will call me, hey, $10,000, I'll teach you how to get your wife to love you again. and then guess what? What if I didn't know how to do it? Well, then I'd flip him to my buddy Keith Yackey, who does do that for a living, the married game.
And then you get commission.
That's right. And then now I'm making $2,000 everybody that came to me, and I just referred them to them. Like, people, I don't know how to do it. You don't need to know how to do it. You need to know people who do.
That's so true. I love that you brought that up, because it's like, even now, more like seeing where you know, we've been going, it's just like, okay, who do I want to put myself around?
Look at some of these people out there on social media, man. They're crushing it. Dude, ask them how hard they work. They'll be like, dude, I bust my ass. They believe they're worth it, man. They're helping so many people. You know, I wish that like all my followers would send me $100. I'd never have to work again. Why? Because there's a lot of them. But listen, and they all say, dude, your content's so valuable and you changed my life. Okay, then send me $100.
Here's my Venmo.
Yeah, but that would only be if all of them did, which is, you know, not likely. So what do? You believe, hey, I just need to help a million people or a billion people. Like, don't worry about the money. Worry about helping people, and I guarantee you the money will solve itself.
Amen.
Yeah, amen to that.
I think that's a great way to wrap this up, for sure. You know, I mean, we really appreciate you coming on, Brad. You know, exposing us, making us, you know, have to learn, have to get a lot better. It's so important for our own growth and, you know, for the growth of our listeners. We really appreciate everything that, you know, you've been able to tell us.
And for all the other listeners out there, like, you know, when you put yourself around people like Brad and stuff, like, receive and take that healthy criticism. Receive it, absorb it, and then take action on it. Because, you know, like us now, we're going to go back and listen to our own podcast. We're going to apply these things that Brad said.
Dude,
before we wrap it up, I want to give the floor back to you and just allow people to know where can they find you, where can they connect with you.
You know, I could say, oh, go get my book coming out and, you know, follow me and all this. But what I really want people to do is look inward and fix yourself. In other words, if you really want to do something for me, do something for you. If everybody on earth focused on themselves and improved themselves, instantly overnight the whole world would be a better place. You want to make a change? Start with the man in the mirror or the girl in the mirror. That's what you can do for me, man. Take these notes, apply them, become a better human being, become, you know, a more giving and ethical human being. And dude, you did enough. But if you want to follow me, then go to bradlee.com or just hit me up on social.
And don't forget to drop the $100. Send the $100 to Brad.
Yeah, and go subscribe to my podcast, Dropping Bombs.
Yeah, hell yeah. We really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me, man. Peace.
All right, thank you.
See ya.